life is good. I'm so abundantly blessed. And obviously I say it as a joke to people to be like, my life is so blessed that I need to show other people how good things can be.
Let me show you the way.
You should be like, I need to set an example for how good life can be. So that's why I'm blessed. Which is like a joke, obviously.
Yeah. Alright, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Take 2
Cinema Edition. Black Hat Edition.
Oh, true. It would be white sweater hoodie edition, but I'm not wearing mine because I'm a dick.
Swole Daddy.
Swell daddy.
You got David.
Yes, and you got Kurt. And shit. Okay, look, just to get straight into it, and honestly speaking, like, even when I thought about the topic, I was just like, fuck,
Again.
kind of don't want to talk about, but since we're here and since we're back, like, how has COVID been? Well, the lockdown, because we went to lockdown for like 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like 3 weeks, probably, because there was one amount of time where you weren't able to...
Yeah. True. Yeah, and now it's starting to ease. There's still some restrictions, but now it's starting to ease a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully it keeps easing. No other stupid-ass outbreaks and shit happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We'll do a quick little cheeky COVID lockdown recap.
Basically, yeah. Well, what's been happening?
True. I've seen yours. Yours has been pretty active on the socials for your...
I feel like I do this anytime, like, there's a lockdown or I'm, like, stuck and I have, like... I'm stuck in my own space.
Yeah.
Both mentally and physically. I'm like, all right, I just got to do something. But in saying that, I've been active because of the whole push-up challenge thing that's been happening for this month, which is 3,318 push-ups in 25 days, which represents the suicides that happened in 2019. And if you divide that, that's 133 push-ups rounded up every day. Or the way I'm doing it is 155 per day, and at the end of every week, there's a rest day. Yeah. So I've just been doing that pretty much every day, and trying to like bring back dancing again as well.
Yeah.
Because like the way that I thought about that was a whole nother thing. So I just want to like maintain that too. Besides that, just trying to keep up with like what's happening on the socials. Starting to actually take some steps forward with like my old YouTube channel where I had my AMVs.
Yeah.
So just actually going like, hey, you know what? I've been getting comments from like people still watching my AMVs for like the last decade, and I'm just letting that channel sit and do nothing. So I want to like revamp it, maybe just make personal videos, just talking about like things I've experienced.
Yeah.
Maybe make vlogs. I don't know, just whatever comes up, and just see what happens with that.
Would you do another AMV?
Unfortunately not. Because like it's just that is definitely something that I've closed the door on, because there really is no other avenue where that can go.
Yeah.
Because I'm using footage that's not my own. I'm using music that's not my own. I'm not creating something that's really truly my own. And I tried really hard when I was at the end of my AMV days to make more AMVs, and I just could not do it because it just wasn't fulfilling any part of my life.
Yeah.
And I definitely know that it won't.
I feel like I've done this.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, what can you do? You can't sell AMVs. You can't like make a living off AMVs.
Yeah.
Unless you make tutorials about how I edited something. But other than that, like the AMV itself doesn't really take me anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just a pragmatic area. And like, again, on a personal level, doesn't really take me anywhere anymore. So definitely not doing that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'd ask.
Yeah. But what else like that, and like taking more steps to like trying to make content just in general for myself, even stuff like TikTok. I haven't put anything on there yet, but I've been thinking about like, ooh, what can I do to like put there. So some of the content that I've been making for Mind Study, I reckon will be good for TikTok as well, like the behind the scenes stuff.
Dude, like side note, the like the best TikTok I've seen so far is like Sam Griffin's.
Dude,
oh my god!
Shout out to Sam Griffin.
Oh,
dude,
the best.
The baby one. Oh, I fucking died. It's like, shit. He got featured on was it news.com.au?
Yeah, something like that. But that was for like the COVID joke one, yeah.
But oh shit,
It was classic. Oh man, he's got so much good.
it kind of hurts me that like it gets banned on TikTok. I mean, I understand why it's getting banned, but at the same time, it's
so
like
funny.
it's so good.
He's such a clever, like it just makes such clever jokes.
Yeah, and like you can really see that with all the stuff he does, like even Griffin Burger and everything. Like
Yeah.
the marketing's just memes.
True. Shout out to Griffin Burger. Sam Griffin.
Just so fucking funny.
All day, every day. Oh, the best one was like the one I was like, oh, when you're younger, and like if you got anything hanging out of the bed, it's gonna get eaten.
Oh fucking jeez!
Oh my god, that was like, I was like,
just put that.
oh my god, I was like, this is amazing humor.
Oh shit! Like, I think like after watching his stuff, like you see the punchline kind of coming, but at the same time, it's just like. It's just so outrageous to the point where I can't think of any other people that have really made anything similar to that.
Yeah,
It's just so funny. Fuck.
You know what it is? It's like the real Slim Shady.
Yeah.
The way, like the line in like one of his songs is like, "I'm only giving you things you talk about with your friends inside your living room."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that is so true. I think it's so
true.
funny.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like when you just take that joke and just keep pushing to the next level, like especially in like inner circles and like with close friends. It's just all jokes. Like even if it's offensive, it's just like it's just a joke, but you just take that like ridiculousness to another level.
Yeah.
So
That's
good.
So good.
Yeah.
Keep going, Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
He's the
that
best.
show was so good.
Sorry.
But no, that's
TikTok.
all good. Yeah, just like thinking about like what kind of stuff will go on there, whether that's like helpful stuff, tips, or just like random funny things I could think of. Yeah, and just like doing up the house a bit more, thinking about like things to do for the house. Because me and Angelina like did some kitchen and bathroom window shopping.
Ooh.
That's something else. Oh yeah, and like I don't know if you see my stories as well. Like I've been rejigging my office room upstairs. Like it's like changing every single like couple days because I'm like figuring out like, oh, what does this one look like? What does this angle look like? What if I shaped it like this? What if I got these lights and put it here? And yeah, it's like starting to get there. So I'm pretty happy with it.
That's sick. I feel like that's good because like when you have the confidence to customize your own space.
Yeah, it's just
I live here.
Yeah. You're just like hammering the fucking wall and shit and just breaking stuff. You're like, oops, no, I'll just cover it up later.
Lucky I own this place.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's just like a handful of stuff I've been doing since lockdown. I'm making sure not to like tire myself out too much because I was starting to feel that, you know, in combination with all the push-ups and all the physical shit I'm been doing, I'm like, okay, I need to actually take those rest days.
Yeah.
When I say rest days, rest day, like one day at the end of the week and actually just do nothing and recover.
Yeah, or just something fun.
Yeah, and just
chill.
have fun, chill out. Because, like, dude, I think about 2 weeks into the challenge, it kind of happened at the same time as the lockdown.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was fucking exhausted. I was like, holy shit, I can't, like, move.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Like, I'm not even sore. I'm just spent. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of been my last 2-3 weeks in a nutshell.
And then you don't recover as well, right? Like...
Yeah, you need to actually have the rest day. Like I thought I could power through it in the first like week and a bit, and I was like, oh shit, I actually need to recover, or else like I'm gonna actually get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's like I can pump out the push-ups like every day, and I'm like, oh, I didn't feel sore at all the next day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Route.
So
that's
pretty
good. I don't think I could do 133 in one day.
Yeah, it's pretty intense because I've been doing 155 per day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then taking that rest day. Hey man, I just gotta put that out there, man. But yeah, it definitely helps to have a rest day. You gotta have that rest day. Yeah, for everything else as well.
Yeah. I think like definitely a sign of maturity. Otherwise, like before, it's like
yeah, I could feel it in that first 2 weeks. I was just like, go, just all hands on deck, just like firing on all pistons.
Yeah.
Like, do the push-ups, do these exercises, do those exercises, mixing them all together, do all this shit, do your work.
Cry to sleep.
Yeah. Wake up crying. And then, and then it hit me. I was like, gosh, shit, not again. And I think I did post in my story as well because I've been doing like this introspective posts along with the challenge.
Yeah.
And I just said like, I get really excited and my habit is to jump into things and just go full hard straight away.
Yeah.
But now it's like, all right, if I feel like it's not good, or if I'm having those self-reflections and going like, okay, you need to make adjustments, make those adjustments.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, nah, stay hard and like, just go crazy and wear yourself out.
And then you're like, that was a good 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm
like,
fucked.
I'm going to rest for 2 months now.
And now the hibernation begins. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously real quickly, I've just been like doing some pre-production stuff for the shoots that got delayed and planning those things, which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, that's been my last 2-3 weeks in a nutshell.
That's good. I feel like that's like a really good, like super productive way to like go about it.
Hope so. It's like that amounted to fucking nothing.
But on top of like, just having a good time.
Yeah, actually it was a pretty good time, and getting beaten by Angelina in ping pong mostly has been pretty humbling.
True. That's why I don't play. I'm like,
it's like,
I'm alright.
I never lose if I never get involved.
If I just stand on the sideline and go, you suck.
I just like to, stand away and just judge people.
Yeah.
Your form is terrible.
Mine is worse.
Bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Because I was talking to Tanya, and I was just like, if this was last year, I would have been like, oh yeah, like, I would have been like, oh damn, if only we could like, be locked down together. And then I was like, oh wait, we are locked down together.
Now we can.
And so I was just like, are you looking forward to this lockdown like I am?
It kind of reminds me of that line in Watchmen by Rorschach. He's like in prison, beats up this dude. He's like, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Oh yeah, I
just turn around and say that to Tanya.
Yeah. Oh, but it was pretty cool though, because like she was working from home.
Yeah,
So I was working, and like usually like the rhythm is
How
like,
good is it?
I'll go there, then like she'll go to like work in the office, and then like back and forth. And it's just like sometimes there's like dead periods at home.
Yeah.
But then like it's good to just be like, all right, sweet. Well, I'm working. She's like set up in her area and close the door if I'm like talking too loud.
Yeah.
And then like it's like, hey, do you want a coffee or do you want something like that? It's just like really easy. Whereas like, if you're looking after your person and you go like, all right, like they need to make sure that they've got whatever they need or whatever, I'm like, oh sweet, that's so convenient.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because like I guess for me, like, it doesn't cross my mind too much anymore these days, because me and Angelina are pretty used to living together. And like during the lockdown, like we were living in that rental unit and we went, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
And then we bought the house. We're like, this is fucking great. It's a holiday house.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Oh no, like that's kind of like, because last time I always had to go to like her house and then she would have to go to like mine, and it was just like a back and forth, and then like it's like, okay, well, weekends, and like you can choose like which weekend and like back and forth.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, all right, every single morning you wake up, every single evening you go to sleep, and it's just like, ooh, this is a good change. I like that.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's just like, okay, I can change that. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, like I don't know about you guys, for us it feels almost like, I mean, we're still working, but it's almost like a Fox kind of holiday, like almost like a borderline vacation.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get to, obviously for her, she gets to sleep in a bit more because she doesn't have to do that long drive all the way to a school.
Yeah.
And then we wake up together and we're just like, this is nice.
True.
And we're both downstairs eating together, and it's like we're having tea together and shit. And like sometimes she'll come to my room and be like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? And then I'll kind of pop into her room a little bit when she's like having a bit of downtime. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, and it's just like we're walking around home. We're just like, hey, what do you want to do? You want to play ping pong for a second? Like, let's go play ping pong. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, you want to go upstairs and sit down for a bit? Yeah, let's do that.
It's like, can I book in a walk? Can we go for a walk around the neighborhood?
Yeah, even that too. It's just like, I got like an hour. You want to just like go walk and take a chill day? And it's like, sure.
Yeah, that's the best. Because like usually if I have to go into the office, because I don't want to like pay for the train up, I'll catch the early bird. Which means that I'll be up at like 5:30. It's like dark. I'm just like getting out. I think even in summer it's dark.
Yeah, I mean like the sun sets at like 5 p.m. these days, so
yeah,
it's like, what time is it now? 5 p.m. If you open that door, it's probably dark already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good, and like the sleep in and just being able to be like, oh, sweet, like, what you got planned for today? Yeah, yeah. But yeah, other than that, just more securing the bag a lot. So like,
Yeah.
reaching out to all the potentials and be like, oh, cool, into the intended lockdown. Like, let's chase that job. Like, let's go do
Yeah.
the work. So yeah, just following up like leads, really making the calls that I need to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just like kind of getting some future planning together for like a lot of the projects that we're going to be working on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then just like checking in with people, just like in general. Be
Yeah,
like, hey
that's
man,
pretty
like,
important too.
you guys locked down, you just opened up your new cafe. Like, how you guys? How's the
Yeah.
family? Like, there was a storm. Are you guys okay? Do you
Yeah.
have power? Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Also, like on top of that too, like there was like my auntie who passed away just recently,
Yeah.
which was like, yeah, like that was obviously like not ideal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's ever ideal, but
Yeah, yeah. So there was a lot of like, I guess, just organizing, like a lot of like some of that stuff as well on our end, and then that's also where like the check-ins come through. So like, how are the cousins? Like, how's everyone? Does everybody have the information? Just like from an administrative point of view. And like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like, is everything sorted out? Is everyone like with what I can do in that limited capacity? So yeah, just that. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how has it been? You know, and again, like, sorry for the loss,
Oh yeah.
but
Thank
yeah, like, how? I guess how has it been for your family and like relatives, like throughout this last 2 weeks, considering the events that just occurred?
Yeah, to be honest, like I was thinking like it would be good if like by the time like people get to go see each other and like visit each other's houses and do all that stuff and like have gatherings and all that. I'd be like, okay, hopefully can last out then so that people can just be like, oh hey, how's it going? Like, just that togetherness.
Yeah.
But like with a lockdown, you go like, oh, by the way, you just robbed this person of the last month of like all of the potential memories and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, so that was just like, it was interesting, but just navigating around it. I mean, like, it just makes you think, okay, well, that really sucks. This is like, it's tough, obviously. But yeah, then to go, okay, well, just reflect and go like, this is like what blessings that we have now.
Yeah.
Like, you got friends that you're like able to see, like go see them. Like if you have any like hesitation to be like, oh, maybe we should, in the future, it's like, nah, fuck that. Like tomorrow, like you free, all right,
Lock
cool,
it
I'm
in.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I've been meaning to like lock some dates in with some other friends as well, and I've already locked in some dates too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely an important thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's so worth it because like I guess like one of the things that like really stood out as like one of the last interactions with like my auntie was more like it was like a promise, like to go like, oh hey, before the exact words were like, before I go, I'm going to go see like your house, your sister's house, like to see
Yeah.
all the places. But like obviously we have to wait till lockdown finishes and all that stuff as well. And then like with a super aggressive condition, then it's just like, okay, cool. Well, like, you're kind of racing against the clock. You don't really know. And then, yeah, just to have that, like, that's just a promise that's just unfulfilled now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go, like, what I reflected on that was like, well, whether you're alive or it's like your last moments, like the promises that you make to people, like if you're going to do it, if you're going to say it, then like just go try and do it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Because like when's the next chance that you're going to get to be able to
Life's
do
too
it?
short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like if you were to like die the next day or when it's coming, it's like you don't want to regret the life you've lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Back.
Yeah. It's pretty,
It's heavy stuff.
I would say. And like the tough thing is that like even if you are aware that the end is coming soon, like that doesn't change the fact that like you had all this time now to do it.
Yeah.
And like just because like you've decided now, okay, like cool, like I can see the finish line. Like if you don't make the chance now, like now is actually the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh fuck. Yeah. I don't think like that. I think because like well, I don't know, maybe it just hasn't really like all come hit me in one single catastrophic like, event of emotion.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what just like the more pondering sort of thing, just to be like, oh damn, life is short, like do whatever you needed to do yesterday.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, yeah, like when Jamie and Jen shouts again to mountains and marathons. Man, I can't do tongue twisters.
Mouthfuls of mountains and marathons.
Peppa Pig, pepperoni pizza. But like, yeah, like they made a post talking about regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might have seen that one too.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how like when you live your life thinking about your regrets and wishing you could change stuff, it's like it doesn't really serve much of a purpose. So you'd want to look ahead and basically, in essence, like forge that path forward rather than like dwelling on the past, because what's happened has happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of reminded me of that, because it's like you can always sit there and go like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I could do that, and then like the next second it's already all gone.
Yeah.
Like you've already gone like years into the future and like, oh shit, why haven't I done anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're sitting there in the future going like, oh, I wish I did this and this and this, or I wish I did this different.
Yeah.
And it's like right now you have the ability to make those choices and make those decisions and change the trajectory of your life, or go out there and find an opportunity, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to end up being in the future with more regrets like you are right now, thinking about, oh, do I have regrets? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to like proactively try to not have regrets.
Yeah.
To address the regrets before.
Yeah.
Pre-regrets.
Yeah.
Pre-regrets.
Post-regrets.
Yeah. I really think that that's a good way to look at it, because like, yeah, it just makes you think like, oh, okay, damn, that's like life is like pretty short.
Yeah, life is delicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my lockdown.
Yeah, fact. But how's your family though? Like they're alright, or?
Yeah. I think that like, you know, given that she was quite sick.
So that kind of saw it coming and everything.
Yeah, and also that just to know that like somebody who was in pain is no longer in pain.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good thing. Yeah. So I think that there's that, and yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have to answer this question, but like, if it's too personal, but how's the actual funeral itself?
Yeah, I think that it was quite good. You know, like it was in a sense that like celebration of life sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then afterwards as well, to sort of have like family around and like be together.
Yeah.
To go like, oh, like, you know, what usually unites people is like life or death.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, like there's a new baby, cool. Like people come together.
Around, yeah.
Yeah, and then same thing if someone passes away.
Yeah.
Everyone comes together. And it just made me think, like, I guess funeral was great. It was, like, yeah. And that as well. It was very good to celebrate life and be like with family.
Yep.
But like I noticed that like it made me notice that like with people, like when they celebrate, the way that they celebrate you living, like say your birthdays, and the way that they celebrate you passing away is exactly the same.
Right.
So like they'll come together and like essentially they'll just be happy, be themselves around each other to celebrate you and who you are or who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This tense game is really tough.
Post regret.
Yeah. But yeah, so then it just made me think that like I like totally wrote an ode, like, you know, like a like a poem like in my head, because I was like, it was like 1 o'clock on the day of, and I was just like I was like, yeah, that's good, that's like, those are good words.
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just more based around like, it's funny that like when you go your whole life, like you expect that like there's something that's just going to throw you off like your trajectory and be like, this is my life changing event. And like, this is going to be the one thing that just makes everything kind of fall into place. And like, that's what I have to remember. But it's like when you pass, and also when you have your birthday and all that stuff, like it's the little things, all of the little things, like the annoying way that I talk, or like, like,
oh God, don't. No, just kidding.
Like say for example,
say no more.
It's like the jokes, for example, the jokes that would always be said, or the things that you would always talk about, or the activities that you would like not be included with for that person, or like the way that they would always pick you, or call you a certain nickname or whatever it might be. And so you just go like, those are all things that don't happen just like in one single life-changing event. How you go like, all right, we take a trip to Thailand, and like we just find ourselves and be like, oh, this is the meaning of life.
Yeah,
it's like every little step and every little mini memory that's made helps to like, like that is life.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, it's very cliche, that saying, but it's like it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking that like that making that moment where memories are made is not like if you're looking and waiting for something like big or huge to like happen, to be like, damn, that was memorable.
Yeah.
It's like the memorable things are like sitting there and eating McDonald's together.
Yeah,
like, it's like,
so true.
Remember that. Like that's important.
Yeah.
Or like, well, actually we've got some pretty crazy memories together.
True.
But like, for like just eating meals at the dinner table, for example, like.
Yeah. Like it's just this like, I mean, people sometimes will say that saying of like, it's the small things, but you might say that just as a statement, but the way it feels is like, it really, what's another way of saying it? It's like a feeling. The moment might seem insignificant, but it's those small bits that build up into that larger puzzle. Build up into the larger puzzle piece. Yeah. Because like, if you see an incomplete like piece in a puzzle, it looks massive, no matter how small it is in a 1,000 piece puzzle. So even though in the grand scheme of things it might seem small, it's actually a huge part of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So even like just when we lived together and just had dinner together or some shit at home, it's like, fuck, that's actually a fun memory, Or even the fucking joke you said with Shinji Moon.
Oh, true.
Shinji-san? No, Shinji Moon. Like, even those small things, right? It's like, those are tiny little pieces that sort of build up who I think you are and how I see you. And, vice versa as well. And like with other friends of ours and other people in our lives. So I think on paper, it might seem small, but it's like all these little things add up to like create this bigger picture of like who people are.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah, you got to live life like really cherishing like every moment you can get and every moment that you experience, as well as celebrating other people's moments like that they've had in their life, no matter how insignificant it might seem or how trivial it might seem. It's something that's been really big. Yeah. And that kind of reminds me of the whole reason why I wanted to start making videos back on my AMV channel, because what I kind of, because I already filmed the video.
Yeah.
What I talked about was like, when I was living those days, it felt super trivial. Like I was just having fun. It was just a hobby. Yeah. I didn't really think too much about it. But it was only years after I stopped making the AMVs, and I'm still seeing comments to this day. It really hit me. I was like, wait, this stuff happened in like some of my most formative years of my life. Like I'm growing up into an adult, and the memories I had with like heaps of friends online, as well as like people I met through that community, as well as like the skills I learned and a whole host of other stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact that what really triggered that thought was actually a comment that went, oh wow, this is part of my childhood. And I was just like,
same.
What the fuck? Like literally I was like, wait, that was my childhood.
Yeah.
Well, that was like a big part of my childhood. And I was just like, oh shit, like I can't believe like I really didn't think too much about that moment in my life. Like it just, it sounds cheesy, it sounds kind of embarrassing, but really it's like, no, that's a part of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so revisiting them, like, shit, like, there's a lot here to unpackage.
Yes. Yes.
And it's definitely something to really, hold dear to, because what is life if you're not celebrating all the moments you've had in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing though is that like, not funny, it's just more interesting that like, with like, you know how you go, that was my childhood, and like the importance of it, but like you can't really see the importance of a moment in the moment.
Yeah, because you're just living the moment.
Yeah, like everything is in like retrospect, so it's more just like whatever happens, like just embrace it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
good or bad, because you know, I mean, like obviously shit days are shit days, and like things get tough and whatever, but it's like, well, that is like down the road. There's a memory to be made from there.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and that's something else I was thinking about too. Like, and again, another reason why I want to like talk about like past experiences, because it's like good or bad. There's always something to learn when you're coming out of those experiences.
Yeah.
And that's how you shape your future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no matter how small these moments might seem, or how fun or bad or whatever it might be, they're all pieces of the puzzle that forges who you are and who you're going to be.
Yeah.
And it's really how you come out of those experiences and take that with you moving forward.
Yeah.
Because like if I didn't really, think back about the importance of like those AMV days, then I feel like in some small aspects I wouldn't respect like part of the craft that I've come to learn.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it's like, oh yeah, shit, like that's kind of where I learned a lot of my foundations.
Yeah.
And if I don't really, put any amount of importance into like what happened there, it's like, oh shit, then I guess I'm technically disrespecting what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But that's just like a small little side note. But yeah, like totally. It's just like, yeah, getting to reflect on all those like past experiences is like a good way to just set myself up for how I'm gonna move forward as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true though, because I think like I was listening to a podcast.
Take two. No.
But yeah, and they were saying like, if you want to achieve something, oh fuck me, sorry, oh, I got a foot cramp. Oh, they were saying like if you want to get somewhere, like what's the most important thing? And like a lot of people will go like, you got to know the goal, the destination. You got to know like, what you're trying to achieve. You got to, you got to set some goals. It's like, no, you got to know where you are.
Yeah.
And that's like the one thing, because it doesn't matter if you have all the maps in the world and all the paths, but like if you don't know where you are, where you start, then you actually can go nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like all the things that lead up to that point to where you are, you go, okay, cool. Like this is where I am, who I am.
Yeah.
And the rest is kind of going like, okay, I can be who I want to be.
What was that book called? Like it was called like The Secret, and you had to exercise like visioning like what you want and where you want to be, and you just constantly keep doing that.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, really? It was like
The
some
Secret.
Ah, shit. Fine, I just went straight to that one. You heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like it was just like this whole like it was a massive hit. And like people are like, yeah, it works. All you have to do is like envision like where you want to go, where you want to be, like the destination, blah 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 blah. And like, yeah, it's just the whole load of shit. But
Yeah.
but 100% like on that note, yeah, you gotta like, you basically just have to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and know where you are and like what the journey's gonna be, rather than like the actual destination itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, or not even know the journey, but like start the journey and just live the journey.
Yeah. And like kind of just you have to sort of establish where you're starting from.
Yeah, exactly. Because one of the things I was reflecting on recently is like, why do I feel like I was a much more effective communicator in the past compared to where I am now? Just to go with the whole like reflecting and processing stuff and moving forward. And what I figured out was back then, way more brash,
Yeah.
way more don't give a fuck attitude. And so I was much more comfortable in just saying whatever was on my mind immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas just maybe like a couple years ago, it sort of tipped to the other end of the scale where I was more of like that people pleaser kind of person pleaser sort of person,
Yeah.
where I would be overly cautious and overthink how I need to talk to people because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to like be offensive. And then I would over explain. And I noticed in my sentence structure, I would give way too many descriptive words for the same thing because I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was clear, but it makes it even more unclear.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like that, for example, is just like one of the many things where I feel like it just makes sense to, instead of regretting what you've done in the past, look back on it, look through the reasons why, see where you are now, and then be like, okay, now I understand those things. Now let's see how I can take that going forward, so that I can be a much more effective communicator again, or whatever.
Yeah, like with whatever goal.
Yeah, and you can just replace that with anything else.
Yeah.
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 I totally agree. Yeah. That's really interesting as well. Like, I guess like brevity, like, you know, keeping things like brief, and, like, super simple, and just be like, I've said what I need to say. I've explained it in a way. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I would find myself in so many moments where I'd say the thing I want to say, and then the next moment I'd say the exact same thing but in a different way.
Yeah.
And then I'd say it again, and I'd be like, fuck, like, what am I even saying anymore? I've lost my own train of thought, you know?
It's
distracting
like,
myself.
Do you know what a phone is? Yeah, the phone is like, you use it to like communicate to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a pigeon, you know, when you carries like a note. It's
Little
like,
email.
It's
Have you
kind
got
of like
emails?
a smoke signal. You know, a smoke signal? It's kind of like, you know, when you tap each other on the shoulder, like Morse code.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of like when you do the smoke signals, you know?
And just like,
and then the
what are
miscommunication.
we
It's
talking
like
about?
Chinese whispers, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was just one of the things that really just put it into perspective as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. Like every now and then, just to like reflect, like I guess like to bring it in, bring it back. What the hell? Bring it in.
Bring it in.
Bring in the clothes outside because it's raining.
Yeah.
Domestic jokes.
Wow.
Oh wait, no. Suburban jokes.
I think I say
Oh, that one
domestic
sounds. Yeah, I know.
violence.
That's what I was like. That sounds
okay.
really not right. Oh. Let me rephrase that.
Oh shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, definitely with this lockdown, it's just more like an appreciation for everything, like everything that's kind of come about.
Yeah, it's interesting because like mine was a bit of a mixed bag. Like 100% appreciate. Anytime there's a lockdown, I'm always like the appreciation comes out.
Damn, my life is so good.
Yeah. Like I've been talking to people. I'm just like, I can't complain. Like I'm pretty set. Like I'm pretty happy. Like life has been pretty good. Got nothing much to complain about. Really, the only thing is like just lockdown itself. I'm like, fuck, I'm so annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty over it at this point. Like I just want to go out and do things and live life without having to like constantly think like, oh, am I being safe? Am I hurting other people?
Is this the right thing to
Is
do?
this the right thing to do? Am I following the rules? Like,
Yeah.
what's the guidelines? What are the updates every single day? Just like, Sieves, I just want to concentrate on everything else.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, yeah, always appreciative. Anytime lockdown kicks in, it's just like, take the blessings, take the opportunities as they come, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Fuck lockdown.
I think, yeah, totally with this one, it was more like, yeah, the things were just like, life is good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so abundantly blessed. And like, obviously I say it as a joke to people to be like, my life is so blessed that I need to show other people how good things can be.
Let me show you the way.
You should be like, I need to set an example for how good life can be. So that's why I'm blessed. Which is like a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
But then also to go like, yeah, just more like,
Yeah.
well, sorry, I'm kind of like lost on that point as well because it's just so funny.
I know, it's fine.
But yeah, like, and then also just being blessed yeah, like just how good things actually are. Even the challenging things, even the annoying things and all that stuff as well. I think that like, obviously to be crass about someone passing away, to be like, oh, well, I have the opportunity to do that, but the person who just passed away does not. It's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, we get your point. Like, you're really rubbing it in. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
to just be like, well, even though it's difficult, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're experiencing it.
Well, like, the way I kind of like to think about it is like, if I were to, this is just me personally, but if I were to pass away, of course I would want people to be sad that I pass away. That means I've made a positive impact on their lives. But at the same time, I would want them to keep living theirs and like living theirs and like moving on.
Yeah.
And forging their own lives and doing whatever they want. So I like to think like, if someone passes away, of course it's going to be sad. But in saying that, if you're moving ahead with your life and celebrating every moment that comes, I think that's a good thing. I mean, there's obviously that line where you're just like, oh, fuck them, they're dead. Then that's like, oh, yeah, what's wrong with this person? Yeah, but obviously if you celebrate their lives, you've had your mourning period, you've had that time to celebrate who they are.
Yeah.
And then now you're moving with your life. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Not just you in particular, but just with anyone.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy though, because like a lot of the memories and stuff that were like attributed to that auntie was like childhood. So obviously when people grow up, they're like, you move out of home, you do whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You establish yourself, your new circle of friends, you build a career, you travel, you do whatever you become a person.
Yeah.
And then like, then obviously when a part of your formative years or your childhood is like, well, that's a chapter closed, then you go, oh shit, like my childhood is finished. And like, you know what I mean? And like, it's sort of finishing up as well.
Yeah.
And then you go like, okay, I'm moving forward, but like, there's also like things that, that there's just different. Wait.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's just more like there's memories. There are still memories to be made.
Yeah.
And like the childhood, or like not childhood, but like the people who were important to you then and still are, like family, for example. It's like, okay, like how do I still keep that connection? How do I like make people feel valued? How do I include people that are important to me, but you just never make the time to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
Sometimes you just have to sit there and like digest those thoughts. And another thing that hit me as well is like, say what you need to say what you want to say, and maybe in that moment of time it might not come out right at all. Yeah. But fuck it, that helps to then allow you to say it better next time. Yeah, because I'm like reflecting on some of the stuff I've been saying like in the last month, and like it didn't come out right at all. Yeah, that made no fucking sense. That one was kind of teetering on like making sense, but then it didn't really hit the mark that I want to make. Yeah, but whatever, I'll say it next time. Like life's too short to just dwell on
all the things that were done wrong.
Yeah, it's just like, shit, no, I've already said it. Like I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
And also it helps me to figure out a better way of saying it. Just practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get checked, then you go like, oh wait, actually, shit, I'm going to clarify myself because exactly. That's not what I meant. And that was sort of said in the wrong way.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't mean to say it that way. My bad.
Yeah.
This is what I actually meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's totally fine if you need to take a second.
Oh, yeah.
It's also an excuse to like allow me to take a second.
It's like, stop talking so fast. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God.
Hold it.
Peppa Pig.
When in doubt. Cannibalism. Oh, shit.
I don't know what bullism is, but I'll have a can of it.
Wow. Cannabislism.
Lizards.
Wow. Can lizards. On that note, I think that's a good, pretty good place to wrap that up.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us and just letting me just emotion dump.
It's good to get it out there. I think it's that self-therapy almost.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, like I don't even think that I definitely haven't like really been hit by the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't really know if it will, but I think just like thinking it through and sort of seeing and like kind of being in the moment for
the
whole thing.
Yeah. And like when I say self therapy, it's like it doesn't have to be something that's like emotional trauma or anything like that. It's just introspection, just taking a moment to like, what's been happening so far in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then digesting that crap in and out, moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, in terms of moving forward, keen for certain projects that we're working on too.
Man, same.
Oh, mate.
I'm so ready. Like, to be honest, I have been a little bit slow in some of the pre-production stuff, which I'll definitely be picking up. Like, I've started getting on to the narrative structure and like the storyboard for the music video that's coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like, I'm pretty excited. Oh, man, just fuck lockdown.
Yeah. I think like the cool thing about it is that like it just made me like start to like think about what was important again.
Yeah.
Like, everything just like starts to like refine
Refine the mind. Shout out to myself.
Shout outs to that Mind Society guy.
Yeah.
No, but it narrows the focus
Yeah.
to go like, this is like actually what's important to me. And like there's a ton of shit that you can do.
Yep.
But then just to be like, well, this is it. Like it's starting to like become more focused. Like I can see it so clearly.
Yeah, it does help to like, it's almost like when you take away distractions,
Yeah.
it helps to give you that focus again. Yeah, so I mean, it did help me as well. Yeah, I just hate lockdown.
Yeah, it does suck, to be honest.
Yeah, but, you know, take the blessings as they come.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by for another episode of Take Two.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the full video version of this, it'll be on our YouTube.
Yes, it will. Yeah, it'll be on our YouTube.
Is it on our Facebook as well?
That's a good question, actually. I reckon we'll have snippets on Facebook now.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh,
We're taking
up
that
social
step,
game.
man. Yeah.
Gang.
So we'll be on our YouTube,
Yes.
our new Take Two YouTube,
And YouTube.
and Pornhub.
If you want the full audio version on Spotify, search up Mind Society Studios.
Mind Society Take Two, I think.
If you just search up Mind Society
Yeah,
Studios,
it'll
that'll
come up.
We only have one podcast.
Yeah.
Please subscribe.
Please listen. Please follow us. Other than that, I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got David
Kurt,
and
join us next
see you
time.
next time. So
It's like after 52 episodes, we'll never fucking find a way to end this or start this or anything.
we need a script. We need a director to be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And
Scene.
line.
Shit, what am I talking about again?
Okay.
Cool. All right. See you
One more
guys. Bye. And